Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Ava, aka Queen Midas, Life Alchemist, and I am here for another tribe talk with my two lovely guests. I have Dorrie and Maddie Sigler here. How are you doing, ladies?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm well, thank you. Um, Everybody, welcome back. So if you are returning, you've probably seen some of my tribe talks. They're just kind of like random stuff. And this is actually a new concept that I have where when I connect with someone, I feel that we resonate and I am feeling called to help with their promotion and exposure of the products and the gifts that they have. I'm going to feature them on a tribe member spotlight, which is what this is. So thank you for being here. And really quick housekeeping. I just wanted to remind all of you all that I do have July promos going on. So it's $10 off all tarot readings, personal readings, and my booking link is down below in the description box. So it's $60 for hour readings, $30 for 30-minute readings, and then I'm doing $20 2-minute recorded readings as well. And every person who books a reading, your name goes into a drawing for a copy of Eastern Body, Western Mind, that book, which is, it's too far over for me to reach and show you all, but it's going to be accompanying one of my new series that's coming up this month. And yeah, also my email is down there if you would like to reach out to me for inquiries. And then all of my tarot cards are also booked down there. I do have my donation links in the box as well. If you feel called to donate, or if you'd like to leave me a birthday gift. Thank you to everybody who has done that already. You all are so greatly appreciated and you're so generous. And I thank you because that energy exchange is just really awesome. And I really appreciate you all. So now with all that said, let's get into introducing these lovely ladies and hearing a little bit about them. So Dorrie, we first connected in my live chat on the first last Friday. Yeah. And then the next morning, we did a private reading and Maddie was there and we just all connected. So here we are. And yeah, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and your journey.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Dorrie, and I basically have been working in the pharmaceutical industry for the past 25 years. And in October of 2020, I went through a spiritual awakening and realized that everything that I had been doing and thinking that I was helping people maybe wasn't quite the truth. So after going down lots of rabbit holes and doing lots of research and just really trying to discover myself, I figured out I was drawn to Orgonite pyramids. I kind of waited about 6 months and did research and just a lot of soul searching, and then kind of pulled the trigger in December of last year. I've been making them for about 6 months. And so I'm on here to share this with you all because I truly do believe in what they're designed to do. And I think that they can help people. I think that they can really transmute negative energy into positive energy. And just be a source of, metaphysical properties with the crystals that are within the pyramids, and just really help people, help cleanse their energy, especially if you're around computers and cell phones and things like that, which we all are every day. So they really help to kind of keep your body in balance by having, I always keep multiple around me when I'm on my computer at work, and they really seem to make a big difference for me.
Awesome. Thank you. And Maddie, want to talk about your journey, who you are, what you create?
Definitely. I kind of ended up being here by happy coincidence. It was not on my radar whenever I was going into like 4th of July weekend or anything, but I am here and I'm very happy about it. So obviously my mom, super huge inspiration. She's absolute angel. So my best friend, she's very talented lady, and she's kind of been the reason why I've been inspired to kind of delve further into my spiritual pursuits. I'm 20. I went into college. My freshman year would have been in 2020. Did not really go the way that I was expecting it to. It was a really dark time. It was a really rough time for a lot of people with Corona and everything going on. It was just a lot of confusion, a lot of really negative thoughts were kind of present for me. And I made the decision that at the time seemed absolutely impossible to come home from college and kind of readdress and refocus myself on what I really wanted to do. And I felt very lost for a long time, but my mom and her spiritual journey that she began around that same time kind of allowed me to step into that without feeling apprehension or feeling like I was going to be judged for it. So that kind of sparked a really long road ahead of me to kind of get into tarot, get into astrology even more. My obsession with crystals, which is just way too much, but it's okay.
Her obsession,
it is my guilty pleasure.
Her obsession has always been there. Mine not so much, but hers has always been there.
It's always been lingering in the background. But the reason why I am here talking about things that I create is because when I first got into tarot, I've always been a very artistic person. That's why I went to college. I went for creative design. So I was studying it, but I also felt like I couldn't really tap into the things aesthetically that drew me in. So once I got into tarot and started messing around with that, I was like, you know what? I need something to put my cards in that's not gonna, wrinkle the edges of them or like mess them up or anything. So I was like, okay, I am creative, so I will do it myself. I'll make my own. So I got a little box from like Hobby Lobby and I painted it and I did this cute little tarot design on it and I showed my mom and she's like, you should make more of them. So it kind of just evolved from me trying to adapt to something that I needed into something that I am starting to sell more and more of. So really exciting stuff. I think that it's kind of sparked this little journey of me and her kind of expressing ourselves creatively. So
I love that. I love that. And like self-expression is such a big thing. And so I have a few questions actually. I'm going to start with Maddie. You were talking about kind of like feeling like you might be judged for what you want to do or for leaving school. And you also mentioned how you felt like you couldn't tap into the art, or I guess the art that you wanted to express in school. Is that because of the curriculum and just like the in the box, like you have to do this project, or like, can you expand on both of those things, please?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So especially in terms of the judgment I feared, I think there was a lot of conditioning in my early adolescence that kind of made me feel like I couldn't not only study my spiritual beliefs and kind of dig deeper into them, but it was almost like a taboo for me. I felt like my experience with religion was not really separated from the act of believing in something and having faith and the practices of the majority. I think that was the biggest disconnect for me. I felt like I had to fit a specific mold. And that also kind of applied in school as well, just in a different kind of format. I was constantly, especially when I got into college, I found that artistically, I had these ideas that I was going to go into college and be able to finally do what I was inspired to do. And it was kind of the opposite. I felt
that's kind of why I'm like smiling over here. That's what we think, but sorry to interrupt.
It's very normal, I think, for a lot of people to, for lack of a better term, like hype up this idea that you're going to go to college and thrive and be yourself. And it's kind of the opposite, I think, for a lot of people, whether they realize it or not. And that was definitely something that I struggled with. I found that I didn't really know who I was because for a very long time in high school, especially, I started kind of masking my real personality. I would kind of pinpoint, pick and choose, oh, this is what people want me to behave like and act like, so that's how I'm going to shape myself. And that was a very big hurdle for me. And that came across as well in schoolwork. A lot of it was, expected for me to match specifically what the professors wanted things to look like. And I couldn't really take creative liberties with it without it seeming like I was pushing too far on a boundary that they had tried to like set with us. And it was a very big disconnect for me because I always associated art with my escape. And so it felt like this has always been my outlet, and it's kind of in the hands of another person. It didn't really, there was a huge separation between me and the thing that I'm very prideful of is my artistic abilities. To have that kind of slapped a label on kind of thing, it just did not really align with me. And that was really hard to address when I didn't really know how to explain it for a long time.
Yeah. Wow. That was actually like really powerful what you said. And it was like cringy. When you said it, I was like, woo, when you were saying how like your expression and your art and the way that you wanted to be creative was in somebody else's hands. I was like, oh, like I don't know. I don't know. For someone who freedom is like the most important thing to me, like the way that you worded that just made me, it was like a claustrophobic feeling, but that's so true. Thank you for sharing that. So Dorrie, you also mentioned in our chat on Saturday how you had dealt with some judgment and how like internally you were just kind of like back and forth about the crystals and the pyramids and like how you wanted to, I guess, portray your art or put it out there if you should keep with your Etsy shop. By the way, you all, Dorrie has a wonderful Etsy shop. It's going to be linked down below. And I think Maddie might be putting her boxes up there, possibly.
I did.
Correct. Yeah, they're both beautiful, beautiful artists. You also please check that out. And their Etsy shop or Dorrie's Etsy shop, email, Instagram, and Facebook are going to be linked below. So please check them out. Anyway, back to the question. Dorrie, you mentioned dealing with judgment. Can you expand a little bit more on that for the audience, please?
Yeah. And just to go back before I address that, I just wanted to say one thing. Before, when Madison went off to college, it was my programming, and when you raise your child, you want them to go to school and go to university, and you think that you're doing all the right things by, this is what you do, to be successful. And then when I had that spiritual awakening, it was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Where did I didn't realize at the time that she was as unhappy and miserable. And this is when it comes to like the mother-daughter relationship. She would have stayed there and tried and tried and tried just to please me.
Yeah.
And the minute I told her, I said, none of that matters. What matters is your happiness. And if you're not happy, you need to come home.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, she's like, Mom, come get me. Mom, come get me. I was like, absolutely. So it was really interesting because we've kind of joked about the fact that she's like, I have a new mom now. Like it was Dorrie, the old mom, and now it's Dorrie, the new mom, the one who's accepting and loving and non-judgmental. And when you go through a spiritual awakening, that's what you realize. You realize that everything that you thought you knew wasn't really necessarily what you knew. So it's really been the hardest, but the greatest, year and a half of my life, just realizing all these things and all these different epiphanies. But as far as like the pyramids go, yes, I definitely, I wanted to embrace the new me, but there was fear of rejection, of putting myself out there with all my Facebook friends and the people that I've known and have known me my whole entire life, because I know that I'm different. I know that I've changed. And so, yeah, it took me several months to get up the courage to put myself out there and say, hey, you know what? This is me. Take it or leave it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an exciting journey so far, really hard, but I've had people that maybe don't understand, the crystals and the spirituality, but they still you know, accept me or at least maybe support me from afar, I guess. So I'm grateful for that.
That's cool. And like you, both of you ladies are just so brave and courageous for stepping out on that limb. Like total in the tarot Fool card, like the leap of faith, where you just go and trust that spirit is going to carry you, you know, especially with something that's just laid on your heart and it's you expressing your soul desire or like something that's you're passionate about, and to help spread joy or cheer or help other people. That's really beautiful. And also like just the two of you all coming together and like meeting eye to eye and having a new birth, like a rebirth of your relationship or a renewal. That's really, really cool. And, you know, this whole pandemic has been wild, but it's also been kind of beautiful in some ways because of things like this, where we end up being like, okay, cut the crap. What matters? Who matters? Who's really there for me? How do I want to present myself in this world where everything is shaky and like what I thought was right is weird and not necessarily the truth, and this person is whatever they are, and you know, like everything is being like, you know, like it's like thrown up and like seeing where everything falls and what doesn't last anymore. So it's just really cool because we're finding who we are, we're finding the people, the relationships that matter, the things that we love, we're finding our voices, we're finding our true identities. And it's really cool. And I've seen a bunch of people birth new businesses. I'm one of them. A bunch of people are creating beautiful art, you know, like you ladies are. And it's just really powerful. Like the forces that tried to make something negative for the humanity, like actually helped accelerate our ascension, you know, and our growth and soul evolution. So it's really, really cool how we're able to flip that energy. Let me see. Oh, so Dorrie, would you like to share the screen and show your Etsy shop? I should have asked you this before. If not, I have it pulled up and I can share the screen. Or if Maddie, do you know how to?
That's her. Do you know how to do that?
I don't have it pulled up already.
Okay.
So I'd have to log in. So if it would be easier for you to do it, we can do that. Or I can try to. I've never done it before, but I could probably figure out how to do it. I think that it.
Okay, and I'll, like, when you're ready, I'll give you screen sharing abilities.
Okay.
And I don't know, do you have to full on log in to just show the products and talk about them? Or just show what's in there? I don't think you do, because I have your store up.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm sorry to catch you off guard. I so should have.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Part of it is trying to figure out the layout of my computer here at home. It is very different than the one that I have to work on at work. Click down here. Oh, wait, no, that's profile. Let's see. You might have to do it, Ava.
Okay.
Why is
All right, let me just get it.
I was gonna say either that or I have some pyramids here that I can show.
Oh, okay. Hold on just a second. Why is this not? Oh, there it is. Hold on.
Okay. You might have gotten it.
She's got it pulled up now, I think.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me, so we can, I'll give you screen sharing abilities, and you can also show the ones that you have with you, and Maddie, your boxes as well.
Okay.
Okay. So at the bottom of the video, can you see screen share or share screen? I'm sorry, in the middle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
think this is what we want, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then share.
Let's try it.
Is it working?
Oh, you got the pictures up there.
Yeah.
Yay.
I have a few of them. I don't remember how many we've got. Looks like quite a few. And then she's got some new pyramids up as well.
Oh my God, y'all's pictures are so beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. I don't know. Do you want to pinpoint particular ones and click on them, or which ones are you most interested in talking about?
Well, I was just gonna share like the newest ones. The alarm art is that one there.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my newest one there. That one, and I also did a Chara White that are both new. These are smaller ones, and it might make it easier if I do show them once we get done screen sharing, so you can see like in comparison to my hand.
Yes, yes, please.
How big they are. So there's pretty much two different sizes. There's I think one other one that's kind of a medium one. But I just kind of wanted to give people two different options, you know, because I realized that they're not super cheap. The large ones are like 111.11, and then the smaller ones are 51.11.
Mhm.
And like I said, I normally keep the smaller ones like at work near my desk, and then the bigger ones primarily at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sacred geometry on there is beautiful. What made you choose those symbols?
You know, it's just a matter of which one calls to me for which pyramid. That one there is the flower of life. We also have Metatron's cube that I use on some. I just ordered some different ones, and I try and get most of my supplies from other Etsy shops because I want to be able to support other people that are like me, you know, which I'm gonna give a shout out to. Opalite Market is primarily the place. They're an Etsy shop where I get my crystals from, and they've been absolutely amazing. And they actually, when I first started up my Instagram channel, they reached out to me and kind of gave me some tips on how to keep from getting so many spams on things that I posted. And I mean, for somebody that doesn't know me at all, they were great, and they've really tried to help me. And I'm very appreciative. And when I post new things, they usually like my posts. So they've been awesome.
That is really cool. And
Yeah.
just gives so much like faith and hope in humanity, especially like I mentioned, like with the 5D frequency and Christ consciousness that we're going into, where we're just helping each other, you know, like helping each other to pull away from the 3D rat race and the like having to depend on bigger corporations and stuff, where we're supporting the regular like beautiful people. I love that. Wow. And that one is beautiful. So can you talk a little bit about the layers of your, like how you build the pyramid?
Yeah. The very top layer, that's the clear tip. I actually put clear quartz crystals in there. The second layer is just basically a colored resin layer. And then in this particular one, I have bronze metal is the third layer. And then below that is the mookaite crystals. And then below that is another layer of bronze metal. And then the bottom layer is just kind of has some glitter in it to kind of give it a little pop with more coloring resin. The really important thing about Orgonite pyramids is the ratio with the metal content. So you want to make sure that if you are purchasing Orgonite pyramids, that it does have a significant amount of metal content in there, because that's really what helps to make them work.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Oh, because they're conductors of energy.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. That's really good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Are there any other pyramids you'd like to share, Dorrie? If not, then Maddie, would you like to show some of your boxes in the shop, and then you ladies can just show what you have in person right now?
Yeah. Let's find. Okay. So these were the ones that I managed to get up here over the weekend. It was kind of another one of those last minute things for me. I have sold multiple at a craft show here in town. So those ones, unfortunately, I didn't want to put on the store without having like a tangible box to sell if it does go. And of course, those are the ones like the Sun card. And we had the Sun card, the Empress card, the High Priestess card. I want to say there was another one too, but I'm blanking on it.
I think, okay, because I asked about High Priestess and I asked about the Chariot. Was the Chariot the one that sold too?
Remember, I don't think it was the Chariot. I don't know. See, the way that I do them is I have templates that I've made on my iPad, and then I use those to transcribe it onto the box itself so that all of them are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten all of the cards themselves that are major arcana, and then the ace cards are the ones that I've done so far.
Yeah.
I have all of those as essentially like templates on the computer. So I have them all ready to go. They just have not been painted onto boxes yet. So with this one, a lot of the emphasis on outside of the card is usually like florals, different things like that. And they're all different. Mm-hmm. I've tried to make all of the ones that I do kind of tie into it a little bit thematically. Like this one, you can see more stars on it. There's a lot of kind of cohesive plants that I felt like I could tie into the art itself.
I have to tell a story here.
Okay.
Madison, can you point to your little symbol there?
What?
The little, I don't know. Can
what,
you
the
see
little swirlies?
Yes. So we realized that Madison used to always make those little swirlies all over her homework ever since she was little. And so I told you that we had soul readings done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Madison is a star seed from Sirius. Is it A or B? B. B?
B.
Okay. Sirius B.
I'm not surprised at that.
Right? So interestingly enough, that symbol is tied to Sirius B.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
so all
high
this
frequency. That's cool.
Right. So all this time she's been making that symbol all over her homework and never knew why.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I would get yelled at for drawing on my homework all the time. That was always, I'd come home and I'd be like, Mom, got trouble again. So we've also, so these ones, we tried to get as many good angles as we could of the front, and then the insides of the boxes themselves have like a velvet lining in them. Just so, especially if someone were to get one and put their tarot cards in it, you know, sometimes the boxes can't really detect if there's going to be like splinters or like, you know, a ridge that might, you know, damage a card or something. So we were like, let's put some velvet in there to help kind of smooth that over.
And they're great to put crystals in.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I have one that I was putting my jewelry in for the longest time. You can put your crystals in there. There's so much. They're so useful. Here's like the Ace of Pentacles. And then let me find, Magician is one of my favorites as well.
I can tell you what I use my box for. So I have the strength box because I'm a Leo.
Okay, that's right. Yes.
Yes. So that's the box I have. I use them to store like all the little mini cards that I have that talk about the crystals and the metaphysical properties. So I kind of use it as like a index box, I guess, if you will.
Okay.
For all my cards.
That's cool. So there's, multi-purpose. That's awesome. On the Magician, I did love that one as well. Like I like there were constellations in the outer ridges.
There it goes.
Outer edges.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
A lot of very star kind of themed.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, with this kind of stuff, but you know, I feel like just kind of speaks with it. Like it just goes with it. It looks so cool.
Yeah. Wow.
Stars that I put on there, I was like, okay, this is going to be recurring. So a lot of them do have like dots and stars and shapes like that I kind of stuck with. And then I also have like throughout all of them, this recurring vine that I came up with that has just been through every single one of them. I kind of did not plan that one either, but you know, I feel like it kind of ties them all together too. So if I have multiple of them laying around, you know, they all have kind of a thematic, they all go together, it matches. So,
but we
like
did
signature.
We did keep the moon box out so we can show the
Yes.
mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mushrooms are the highlight of the moon box here.
Yeah, that was totally what drew my eye in. I was like, I like that one.
Love it. How do we, okay, so stop share. Is that what I want to do? There we go.
Okay, cool.
Here. Yeah, this is, I was so, oh my goodness.
Glare.
Lighting. Yeah.
Careful. Can you see
Can
it?
you see it very well?
Yeah, that's so pretty.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna, yeah, we're adapting to the situation. But I definitely think that the mushrooms will become a recurring thing as well. And a lot of them, because they're just so, it's very charming. It just has this very like enchanting kind of vibe to it. And I love it.
Yeah.
Especially with the moon card. The way that
Mhm.
cohesively goes with the meaning of the card too. I just feel like it's also cohesive.
Yeah.
It makes me very excited.
Yeah, like mushrooms are so healing. And it's interesting because there's like a mystery to them depending on the type of mushroom. Like if you eat some, you might not be eating ever again because you might die. There's some where they can take you on a spiritual healing journey. And I love them for that because I've actually experienced a lot of healing through mushrooms. And then there's some that are just beautifully healing for our bodies and our minds, and they're like cognitive enhancers and stuff like that. So they're just like, they're multidimensional, they're high frequency, and I actually met a lady in Tennessee who was a mushroom farmer, and she was talking about how I think her brand is called extraterrestrial fungi. I was buying like lion's mane and then pearl oyster or mother of pearl oyster mushrooms, so good. But she and I had this conversation just like totally in praise of mushrooms and how awesome they are. And she's like, yeah, they're not a plant, they're not an animal. She's like, I honestly think they're probably more advanced than humans are. And like, they're like, they might not even be from here, like all this other stuff. But I'm like, that's really interesting, because they are just this whole other, I don't know. They're
their own thing.
Yeah, so cool. So I loved that you had those on that one. It's really neat. And Dorrie, could you show us your lovely pyramids?
I'm worried about the light.
Actually, that light in the back is really cool because it shows that.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's kind of translucent.
Yeah, wow.
So this
when you
is
catch them in the light.
Yeah, this is chrysocolla.
That's cool.
And that's one of the bigger ones too. So
yeah,
this can kind of tell.
Some of them are even bigger than this. I would say that this is the smaller end of the bigger ones. And then let's see. So this one here, this is blue kyanite. This has blue steel as the metal content in this pyramid.
So pretty.
Thank you. And then let's see.
And you can see the size, like when Dorrie holds the pyramids in her hand, like how.
So like this is like the bottom, and this is in comparison to my hand. Like I said, it's a good size for like a little desk, or like if you have a cubicle at work. It really, so you're getting, this is carnelian here.
Beautiful. What about a nightstand? Are they too much energy to have next to a bedside, or does it depend on the crystal that's in there, or what would you suggest?
I think it would probably depend upon the crystal in there. I mean, something like amethyst, it's good for like sleep, anxiety. That would be something that I would say would be good next to a bedside table. So yeah,
I had a carnelian one sitting next to my bed for a couple of days and didn't even really think about it. And I looked back and I was like, why am I having like absurdly vivid dreams, and like my head feels kind of funny in the morning, and it's just not meant to be bedside crystal.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say I wouldn't put carnelian next to your bed.
And I think I was like, oh, you know what? And so had to move it, but
I do have to share one other thing that we did when we first started creating pyramids.
Okay.
Because I was really curious. And I told Madison, I mean, Madison does tarot cards.
Mhm.
And I said, I wonder if we can do a reading on the pyramid and just see what the cards have to say about the pyramid. And I was blown away. The fact that the cards were picking up on the energy, like the metaphysical properties that were within the pyramid was totally coming out in what the cards were saying.
Wow.
I don't know if you've ever tried that, but it's awesome. Because
No.
I would have her do a reading, and then she would tell me, and then I would go back to like my reference cards and I would read to it, and it was a complete match.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So can you give an example of like what may have come up for which pyramid?
Well, because my kid, I don't know if you can see that, because my kid
Oh yeah.
is amazing. This is what we started out doing.
Okay.
And she wrote,
Oh.
I don't know if you can read it through there or
I would
not.
just read it.
Yeah. Wow. That is so cool. So do you include, you said you include cards with your pyramids, or?
Well, that was the intention when we started out.
Mhm.
But because, life kind of takes over in the 9 to 5 and timing, she didn't really have time to necessarily do that in the way. I would love to be able to give like a reading with each pyramid. I think that would be awesome. But I don't know that she's going to have time going forward. Like I said, we started out doing that more of just kind of a tester to see like, okay, let's say what these cards say about these pyramids.
Yeah.
It was just really, I think I can probably find maybe one. Well, that's maybe a big one. Like, do you want to?
You can just summarize some of them.
Like,
I mean,
pick one.
So like with one of the amethyst ones that we did, this is one of the first ones that we had. And I listed, all of the different materials that we used in it. Whenever I did a reading with this book in particular, what I would do was just write down what cards came out. I would let however many come out that I felt right, just kind of go with that. But I would write down what the cards were and then kind of keywords that were coming to mind whenever I was just observing them. But so like with the amethyst one, we had the Empress card come out, like that regal energy, the motherly, comforting, divine feminine energy right there. And we had the Star card come out for that one, wish fulfillment, destiny, things like that. And the Sun, like prosperity, abundance. The Queen of Swords energy came out too. We have independence and clear communication. We had the Queen of Cups, compassion, emotional stability. We had the Five of Pentacles, letting go of the past, and a couple other ones. And then I also would do just keywords overall of like the energy that I was picking up on from the pyramid itself, just kind of energetically reading it in, combination with what I was getting from the cards, just to kind of hone into, because we have names for all of the pyramids on the Etsy shop, so a lot of those names we were kind of able to derive from the keywords that we would get from observing the tarot readings. But with this one, I had regality, divine, and release. And I think we went with release on this one. But we would just kind of, study it a little bit. It kind of became like this little science project where we were like, like studying it and writing it down. I felt like I was just observing something in the wild. It was like one of those things where I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I'm feeling this right now. And so I just write it down. So it was very fun. It was a very good way to kind of ensure that what we were doing with the pyramids itself were also being reflected with metaphysical, tools that we have, like with the cards and stuff like that. It just all really kind of became this like synchronous thing that was just really beautiful that we were able to kind of bond over too. It kind of roped me into her infatuation with the Orgonite pyramids, because I remember at first she mentioned it to me that she was interested in making them, and I was like,
what is that?
Okay. Well, and I knew of them, but the more I thought about it, my mom's always been very meticulous about things. She's a very
I'm OCD. Go ahead, you can say it.
She's very particular about a lot of things, and she's definitely a perfectionist, and that's kind of come out in me as I've gotten older. I've noticed too, especially with my boxes and things like that. But the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, I could see you doing that, because I just know how good she does at paying attention to detail with a lot of things. I was like, okay. So once she kind of got me on board a little bit, it was nice to have something to bond both of us and both of our interests spiritually. So it tied in my tarot card obsession with her Orgonite pyramid obsession, and then our mutual obsession with the crystals. And so it just kind of, it was very fun. It was a very fun time. So
that is so beautiful and really, really cool to like sit and just observe what you've made and have it speak to you, and then the cards reflect it. Like, that's really neat. I never even would have thought about that, but
it was like she said, it was really just kind of like a random science experiment. Like, hey, let's see
like,
what the cards say about this, you know?
More divine, divine like leading. So that's just so cool how intuitive and like in tune with the things that you two are doing, how in tune you are. And okay, you all, so in the chat, in my live chat on Friday, Dorrie's, can I tell your question that I read on? Okay, so Dorrie asked a question in my live chat, and it was whether or not she should continue making her Orgonite pyramids. And first of all, I saw Orgonite pyramid and my ears were, I was like, what? So I'm reading on it, and I'm like, well, first of all, I had an intuitive hit, like if it's a healing thing, like if you're asking the question, like there's a part of you that like kind of knows that you should, but then there's something that's kind of a block, or like something that's causing self-doubt or whatever. But anyway, in the cards it was like, yes, there's this is something that's going to help people, it's healing, it's going to create stability, there's more to be fruited out of it, so, and it just, I don't know, I'm just really excited for both of you all, and like your hearts are in it, your souls are in it, you get to express yourself and put that creativity forward, so it's just really, really cool. So you all please go check out these ladies' beautiful work, and like you're getting to see firsthand how much effort and how much of themselves they put into it. So yeah,
it's all about the heart.
It is.
Comes from here.
Yeah, and that's what matters now. Yeah, not like living up to people's whatever crazy standards and boxes they try to put us in. That stuff does not matter. There's no more time for that. Like, this is about being real and expressing ourselves and doing the things that we love and we're passionate about, because that puts us in a love frequency and a love vibration, and that spreads and impacts everybody around us, So it's time to do what we love, people. And not worry about other people's opinions or judgments or the boxes they try to put us into. Because I actually talked about this in probably my last 2 videos, where it's like some people are just going to think small, and they're going to try to keep other people small when so yeah. Oh, and that was another thing, High Priestess, keep the secrets close to you and guard your ideas, and that actually came out in my cards today in my star chat. So actually this will be coming out tomorrow, but yeah, yesterday in my star chat video. But yeah, cool, you all ran over. Anything else to add for the people?
Just if anybody's interested in a custom piece, I'm more than willing to do that. Just send me a message. Also, I think the same applies with Maddie. I think she would be willing to do any sort of custom request that anyone might have for her as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, both you ladies, lovely ladies, for coming in, showing your artistic pieces and like sharing parts of yourself with the world, and just being vulnerable, because that's beautiful and that's strong and courageous. So hats off to you ladies, and thank you for being here. And everybody else, thank you all for joining us for our first tribe member spotlight, tribe talk. And again, we have Dorrie and Maddie Sigler here, and I'm going to have Dorrie's Etsy shop. I haven't said the name yet. I just realized that. Stone Orgonites. And that's also the name of her Instagram and Facebook, which I will also have linked below, along with her email. So you can contact them any one of those ways. Please give them a follow on both of those, or all 3 of those links, the Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook as well. All right, everybody, you are sovereign, powerful, worthy, and loved. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you later. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Ava.
Every day is a gift.